the City of Beacon Mayor, and he's got some important announcements to make as well, and Anthony Simon, the union representing SMART, thousands of Long Island Railroad employees. So let's talk about Metro-North. Metro-North is more than just a train route. It is an incredible gateway between two worlds. And one is between the bustling streets of this great city, but also the charming hamlets up along the beautiful Hudson River. So you can have your morning run along the Hudson line and then also end up lunchtime walking the streets of Manhattan and back home in a place like Beacon for dinner. So that's the beauty of this connectivity, this extraordinary rail line, as well as its connectivity to other lines as well. But what I know as a New Yorker and as a mom, there's nothing more precious in our lives than time. You know, how we get time back in our lives. And in my State of the State address, I addressed specifically the people who live along these rail lines and said, I want to give you some time back in your lives, and let's be bold and ambitious about how we do that. So we secured over $26 million in our state budgets for critical rail improvements along the Hudson line. First of all, we outfitted trains with state-of-the-art GPS and train simulation software. We also had to make significant investments in our signaling infrastructure to boost the train speeds. That was important. And adding brand new diesel-electric locomotives that are also faster and greener. And this was all supposed to happen in 2026. I said, no, it's going to happen in 2025. Well, it's 2025, and we are literally 2 weeks away from the start. We accelerated our timeline. We got the work done ahead of schedule. So 2 weeks from now, we're going to have the Super Express service along the Hudson line begin. So listen to this. Starting October 6th, these Super Express trains will take you from Poughkeepsie to Grand Central in 90 minutes. And from Beacon to Grand Central in less than 1 hour and 15 minutes. How does that sound, Mayor? Pretty good for your residents of Beacon? For our daily commuters, we're saving 14 minutes off your trip, 70 minutes a week. It's a game changer for people. And so if you really want to add it up, I did 4.5 hours extra a month back in your lives. And we're just getting started. But this is what I really love and cherish about infrastructure and transit. It's not just about, like I said, the rails and the bridges, the stations. It's about connecting people in their lives and getting them home in time for their kids' sporting event, or to help with the homework, or to just kiss the little ones goodnight before they go to bed. And is it also, this is part of fulfilling a promise I made when we finally launched congestion pricing. We said, if we want more people to take our trains, we have to make it faster and more efficient for them to make that decision. And so we want to make it easier to get into Manhattan without a car. So this is part of that. If you give them reliable alternatives, this is the idea that they will embrace. And we've seen that incredibly if you look at all the data associated with congestion pricing and how train ridership is up, traffic is down in the city. And so all the results that we had hoped for are actually happening. So people told us they'd like to take the train, but they want it faster, they want it more efficient, and we delivered on that. So these Super Express trains are the latest in a long line of mass transit wins, as you know. We figured out a path, although it seemed insurmountable about a year ago, that we could fully fund the MTA capital plan, $68.4 billion. And we advanced long-stalled generational projects like the 2nd Avenue Subway and the Interborough Express. Again, those are my favorite ones, the ones that say long-stalled, nobody could get it done, not enough ambition or interest. And I say bring those ones to me. And we also finished up our beautiful upgrades to Grand Central Madison and the Long Island third track. So we've proven over and over we can get it done. And these investments, not just in the systems, but also in our COPS Cameras and Care initiative we launched a couple of years ago. You know, again, you've heard me say this, but it's still holding. We just came off the safest summer in 10 years, the safest 2-month period, July and August, in recorded history. Your crime rates are down, and just last week alone, last week compared to the same week a year ago, crime was down 66%. So we're making progress. I'll say it for the 100th time, we are not declaring mission accomplished or victorious efforts here. We're not done, but those are numbers that cannot be challenged, and they are extraordinary, particularly considering the trajectory that we are once on. But before we go, I have one more transit-related announcements about our sports fans, particularly our golf aficionados. Golf's biggest event is just about to tee off at Bethpage. I was just out there last week. It's an extraordinary part of our state park system. It's revered around the world for the accommodations and what we offer people. And we're expecting another 20,000 people to literally be taking the train out to Farmingdale, which is going to put a strain on the system as they watch the U.S. take on the golf teams from Europe during the Ryder Cup. So I want to make sure they all have a good experience, our locals and our visitors. And so today through Friday, we're running 8 more eastbound trains every day. And on Saturday, we'll be adding 9 more trains. So make sure that our golf fans can get out to Bethpage without any difficulty. So let me just say this. Today's announcements, in the scheme of all the complicating factors that are going on in the world, may not seem significant to those who are not riders. But if you're a rider and you've been waiting for this, talking about it, and it just never got done, people have been saying we can go faster someday, somehow. My friends, we got it done. It's a commitment of all of our friends at the MTA, the Metro-North, as well as the Long Island Railroad. When there is a need, when our commuters need something, they ask for improvement, enhancements, more reliability, faster speeds, we are committed to getting it done. That is my undying commitment to what is known as the lifeblood of this region. We do not function at all as the city we are without it, the region we are. And so I just want to say that we listen to the riders, and again, those are the most important voices out there in this entire system. So I know they're going to be excited to start living the experience of having more time back in their lives. So let me talk about someone who's very involved in this, our next speaker, Metro-North President Justin Vonasek, and I want to thank him for finding the path to shave off a tremendous amount of time what otherwise would not have been happening until next year. We're getting it done in 2025. Justin?
All right, thank you, Governor Hochul. And welcome to the crown jewel of the MTA, Grand Central Terminal. Today marks a special day for Metro-North. It is the first full day of revenue service for our Siemens Charger locomotives. These new locomotives will cut emissions by nearly 85% over the existing Genesis P32 locomotives. By the end of 2028, Metro-North will have 33 Charger locomotives in revenue service. And over the next 5 years, the MTA will invest $11 billion for new additional rolling stock across the MTA network. It is because of investments like these that we are consistently able to deliver on-time performance of 98% and high customer satisfaction ratings, most recently 89%. We know that running safe, frequent, and reliable service is what our customers want and keeps them coming back. But what we also know is our customers want less time on the trains. And today, we are proud to join the governor to announce that Metro-North will have improved travel times on all 6 Super Express trains from Poughkeepsie. 5 trains will make the trip under 90 minutes. That translates to real-time savings for our customers. And between Grand Central and Poughkeepsie, these are the fastest times in Metro-North history. This would not be possible without the governor's support and investment. And as a result of the hard work and dedication of the team at Metro-North, we are able to deliver these time improvements ahead of schedule and under budget. With Governor Hochul's continued support, allowing for the largest capital program in the MTA and Metro-North's history, we will be able to continue investing in the system and deliver the excellent service our customers expect and deserve. Thank you. Now I'll turn it over to Rob Free, President, Long Island Railroad.
Thank you, Justin. Certainly a lot of good things happening at the MTA, and thank you, Governor, for your leadership in helping us deliver. Speaking of good things happening, let's play some golf. Right now, some of the world's best golf players are on Long Island at the Ryder Cup at Bethpage Black. The Long Island Railroad is proud to partner with the PGA and the New York State Office of Parks to provide a world-class customer experience for those attending the event this week. The Long Island Railroad is by far the best way to attend the Ryder Cup, if you don't mind me saying so myself. With 96.3% on-time performance, it certainly is the most reliable. And with 91 trains stopping at Farmingdale Station each weekday and 72 trains stopping at Farmingdale Station each weekend, it's certainly the most frequent service. Our service connects with shuttle buses at Farmingdale Station for a short trip to the park. It's very easy and convenient. There will be plenty of staff on hand to help customers on their way to transfer from the Long Island Railroad to or from those shuttle buses. And if you're planning to attend the tournament all week, we suggest you purchase the Long Island Railroad's Ryder Cup special event ticket, which can be used for unlimited travel throughout the entire week, throughout the entire system. This special ticket is only available at full-service ticket machines and open Long Island Railroad ticket window stations. We encourage everyone attending the tournament to take the Long Island Railroad and use our Train Time app to purchase tickets in advance for the most up-to-date schedule information and purchasing their tickets. We are very proud and excited to be part of this amazing event and everything it means to Long Island and the state of New York. There are estimates out there that are projecting about $160 million in revenue for Long Island. Absolutely amazing. We also look forward to doing this again for the 2028 Women's and 2033 Men's PGA Championship, thanks to Governor Hochul's leadership showing New York State is a great host. And now I'll turn it over to the Mayor of City of Beacon, Lee Cariocu.
Good morning. A huge thank you to Governor Hochul and the MTA for delivering on their commitment to improve our lives and our communities in the Hudson Valley with these Metro-North investments. I know firsthand, not only am I a mayor, but I was a 30-plus year commuter to New York City, right through this hall to get to my offices down on 43rd Street, and using the Super Express train that they're talking about shortening. Metro-North is the economic backbone of the Hudson Valley. It allows working families to earn a living, to raise families, and to contribute to their community. Even a few minutes makes a difference. It allows you to put your kids to bed, to take a moment to buy flowers at the store behind us for an anniversary, or to get to chair a city council meeting on time. Plus, the commitment continues. The governor and Metro-North have proposed transforming an unused parking lot at the Beacon Station into 260-plus homes, including 10% workforce housing, the most sustainable form of housing that you can get right adjacent to the station and what will soon be directly adjacent to trails and bike paths from the station to the Empire State Trail system. So that sort of economic development and quality of life, again, we offer a huge thank you to the governor and to the MTA. I think we do Q&A now.
All right, we have some questions. We're going to start on topic.
I also want to recognize we've been joined by Ed Valenti, the general chairman of Maker Local 1, so I want to say hi to Ed as well. On
Right
topics, yes.
there. All right, on topic to start. Who's got on topic questions? Yeah, oh, sorry, Haley. Haley Brown from the New York Post. Haley, on topic.
So this could be for anyone up there, but with the additional trains for Ryder Cup, can you guys guarantee there will be enough trains for Ryder Cup attendees to leave in a timely manner?
Rob?
Well, I think if you heard the numbers, they're quite staggering, right? There's plenty of service. There's our regular service. We added stops to peak trains that normally don't stop at Farmingdale. We added additional extra trains. And in addition to that, we have ProTech trains ready to go at a moment's notice to deliver customers out to Farmingdale. So we're confident there's plenty of service to the Ryder Cup this week.
Anything else on topic? Anybody? All right, we've got probably a couple of off-topic questions, but anybody who wants to depart is welcome to do that at this time. Thank you. All right, start off topic with, there's Rebecca Lewis from City and State. Rebecca, we're getting your microphone.
Rebecca, you guys want to slide up a little bit? I can, it's kind of a big place here.
Governor, your share of the Democratic Party, Jerry Jacobs, issued a unusual non-endorsement or anti-endorsement of Zohran Mamdani shortly after you endorsed him. He said that he gave you the heads up. What are your thoughts about his breaking from you? Did you approve of this statement before he put it out? And are you considering replacing him as chair of the Democratic Party?
No, I did not. No, I did not. He was working with staff on that.
All right, let's move on to Alfonso Castillo, who's right there from Newsday, made his way in on the beautiful Long Island Railroad through the beautiful Grand Central Madison concourse today. Alfonso.
Hi, Governor. We ran a story over the weekend showing how union work rules at the Long Island Railroad are allowing some workers to quadruple their base pay, making $240,000 just on overtime. The chairman of the MTA has said these abusive work rules are a priority in these ongoing negotiations with some of the unions. Can you talk about whether they're a priority for you, and do you agree that some of these contracts need to be restructured?
Yes, yes, I do. Work rules have been put in place a long time, need to be re-examined in light of these circumstances, our economic circumstances. The costs of running the system continues to grow and grow. We need to look at, in a responsible way, some of the drivers of that. And so these are the highest paid railroad workers in the nation. And again, we look at what was happening here, the threat of a strike. You know, we can focus on this behind the scenes, but I don't think this should be held over our riders' heads. And, you know, again, Donald Trump looks like he came in and saved the day, except he didn't. He's the one who created the scenario that gave them the ability to strike in the first place. If he had not authorized that, they wouldn't have had that leverage over what we're doing here now. So it's going to continue unfolding. But yes, I am very focused on looking at what is driving up our costs. Those work rules play an important role in that. And so we're going to continue. That's going to be our focus.
All right, we got time for one more. Bernadette Hogan right here from New York One. Bernadette.
Hey, Governor, how are you? Going back to Jay Jacobs, you know, last year with the midterms, everything was all about getting moderate Democrats elected to suburban districts. And, you know, numbers for Democrats aren't good on Long Island and in the Hudson Valley. There's been calls for Jay Jacobs to resign because of his split from you. Do you agree with that? Should he resign? And also, going to Zohran Mamdani, do you think his answers on sex work have been a little bit all over the place? Do you think that it should be decriminalized or legalized? And then I have a follow-up also.
We are not legalizing prostitution in the state of New York, full stop.
What about decriminalization?
We are looking at legislation, but we are not supportive of letting people who are committing the crimes of setting up systems where we have prostitution running rampant, and whether it's in Queens or whether it's the street of Manhattan, anywhere. So that is not appropriate. There are a lot of people making money off this, setting up these systems. Many times there are people that have been victims of human trafficking. Many times we need to look at whether or not these are victims of crimes themselves or are being required to have to pay for their steerage over here through what they call a mule. So there's complicating circumstances with the generally women involved. But I also say that the individuals who set up the operations and the systems that allow this to happen, that is criminal activity, in my opinion. With respect to Jake Jacobs, I know this is going to come as shock to our political reporters, but I actually have a lot of other things to focus on right now governmentally. You know, he is clearly a chairman of Nassau County, and they have an important race, and he spoke in that capacity. But when you talk about what we did last year, it is extraordinary what we did. You know, winning 5 out of 7 battleground races in areas that were really could have gone the other way, because I invested unprecedented resources and time and energy into the state party, and I'm going to continue building it up and building it up. And that is my commitment, to make sure that, you know, we continue protecting the wins we won, but also we have more pickups, and I'm very optimistic about that. And again, I think what's important, people to recognize that this is a very, not just geographically diverse state, but it's also a politically diverse state. And I'm the governor of the entire state, and I understand the needs of each of the different entities that are weighing in on this. But my job is to elect Democrats, and that's exactly what we're going to keep doing. So I feel good about our record.
And Governor, on the failure of the 3 Manhattan casinos, are you worried that that bodes poorly for the other proposals, the Bronx, the Queens proposals? And also, does that cut off a whole market from New Jersey? And was the way that the panel set up giving too much maybe democracy or say from the appointees?
You know,
did it set these ones up to fail? Are you worried that you won't get the money for the MTA and for everything else?
No. That is not on my worry list, I assure you. There are still strong interests. There are communities who support this. And it's in our interest to have the most number of proposals come forward, because that gives us more opportunity to negotiate and to leverage that. So that's in our interest, to have more proposals come forward. But certainly I've been committed to community input from the beginning. And the communities have spoken. These are their neighborhoods. It's their livelihoods, where they raise their kids, and their voices have been heard. So the process continues. This will come to an end finally after a long, long process. But we also have to look at, you know, as we look at the next set of applicants, you know, let's listen to the communities as well, and also the benefits that they anticipate to derive. And there's opportunities for that as well. So it's almost over, folks. This will all be resolved in the near future.
Thanks, everybody.